Hi, welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. I want to talk about some access control and access control options that you can put onto your lock. Now these days there's a lot of new products coming out there, and some of those products are really good and they can adapt to your current lock and give you access control plus fingerprint plus code, you name it, they're out there. One of the new ones I've been looking at this week is the Lockwood Cortex. This lock particularly ticked all the boxes for me in the application I was using it, but I was a bit taken back on some of the functions of it, and I want to go through that because a lot of people say same access control, swipe card, everything's the same, and the truth is they're not the same. Without this explanation you're going to not be able to gauge whether or not it's suitable for your customer or whether or not it's suitable for the application you want to install it on. So I wanted to give this example because when you're comparing the two and doing the price and the amount of labor and things, there is a big difference. It's huge. At the moment you can buy this type of Lockwood Cortex and you can put it over the top of a standard Lockwood mortise lock. You're talking the slim aluminium ones for shop fronts, office buildings. You can give them access control without running cables, without running wires, without the difficultness of access control systems. So on that regard, it's brilliant. Also, you can the cylinder comes straight through the handle so that you can use your original key. If they're using a security key or something, all you've got to really do is just extend it and it'll pop out the front here, and that works directly with the lock so that you can pull the latch back. On top of that, you've got the down the bottom here, which you probably can't see, two little terminals for a 9-volt battery in the event that you don't have power. So you've got key, you've got card, you've got key, card, pin number, emergency override, all on the front. The handles, the build's really good. The footprint is very narrow, so it will suit aluminium shop doors and office doors. So that's a big plus right there. I'm not sure about the fire rating about having it on a unit front door, but most likely the way Lockwood do things, they don't often do things by half, so most likely you will find that being able to be suitable, but check it first. I know with the FCO EF680, that one is fire rated, so you can put that on a unit front door, and this is pretty much the same sort of thing as that lock. If you haven't seen that video, have a look at that video. EF680 carbon digital lock, both which have the actual pin number, they have the swipe card, and they do have key override. Difference between the Carver and the Lockwood is you can use whatever cylinder you want and it actually comes through. Like this is like a big set of handles basically. That's the back, that's the front. Programming on this particular Lockwood Cortex is there's got a simple mode which you basically just have to remove the cover and push the button. Very simple, very straightforward. I was able to pick it up in a matter of minutes, not a problem. Customer was also able to pick it up very quickly, not a problem. But I wanted to show some other factors about these locks which people aren't telling you that's going to make or break a deal and allow you to put it in certain spots or not put it in certain spots. So with that being said, yeah, it's a great package. It ticked all the boxes when I read what was on the box, but when I put it on the job it wasn't really ticking the boxes, and I'm going to show you why. So it was a bit of a trap that you fall into, and once you've drilled holes and you've fitted something to a door, you can't go, okay, well let's now run cables. You've got to really choose one or the other and then go with it. I mean, it will be suitable, it will work, but I would have liked to have known a few things about it. I wish someone had have told me these functions, because when I read the instructions, here's the instructions here, they don't mention what I'm going to tell you. So first of all, let's look at the Lockwood. To work it, you just don't push the keypad. So if you're in a hurry, which a lot of people are, especially when it's not their own property, especially when it's like work property, they're very rough with things. Common property, they're just very rough with things. But to activate the keypad on this, you need to put your hand across it. Didn't operate then, didn't operate then, now it operates. So you see that 2-3 second delay? For some people that can be a deal breaker. So let's just be aware of that. Now we put in our code. We can do a palm. Okay, that's actually the wrong code, but that's what it would be like. So you can do, I'll show you again. So that was palm, pin, palm to open. Or you could use the unlock key. So it is a little slow and sluggy for my liking, like just to turn it on, you know. It's a little bit slow in between cycles too, I've noticed that as well. not turning on now. Okay, that's fine. When you compare it against a normal access control panel, enter. Okay, wrong code. So it's a lot quicker. You've got these buttons protruding, they're lit. It's as simple as that. So as far as having the buttons available for you to start your code on, this keypad alone stands out, works faster. That's what I come to expect from a standard. Can you see that okay there? Actually, I'll just turn down the brightness a bit so you can see it. That should work. So basically, numbers, buttons, easier than 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, and then it lights up. And it's probably not lighting up at the moment. Another issue. Okay, so buttons over that, that's one thing. Now let's talk about the actual swipe card. Presenting a swipe card on this unit here, this one isn't enrolled, but it did read it. So if I was coming up to this and I want to open this in a hurry, touch, touch, swipe, swipe, hold, and literally you've got to kind of put it in the right spot to get a read. No read there. So I didn't find the reader as powerful as what I would have expected. Let's have a look at this keypad here, which has an inbuilt reader into it. Watch this. Pick that up. Look at the distance. Look at the distance. Right, that's a read each time. Look at the distance. Let's just sit it there. 1 1000. So you can see there is a delay. Now this is something they don't tell you. Swipe card access, swipe card access. There is a difference when you've got multiple people going through multiple doors and people often in a hurry. People often want to put these cards in their wallet. They want to have it on a little thing around their neck or around their arm. They want to swipe and it should pick it up. This type of thing here, yes, it does work, but there is a delay and there is a range issue, which is not the same as your standard proxy card system. So you have to be aware of that. So with access control systems, normally what happens is that you have to fit, you've got your lock on the door, you have to fit your keypad, your access control system, and then maybe hook it into a computer and then hook up the electric strike. Electric strike here, these are one of the biggest pain to install. You've got to carve it out, aluminium frame. Look, it's not neat. It is a hard job to get it all neat, and it's a bit of a messy job, and it's not a good fun job. If I had the choice of fitting one of these or fitting one of these, I'd prefer to fit one of these. Now once you swipe your card on access control system, like I'm just going to show you right here, this is not a full working access control system. There's 2 keypads for a simulation. When you do swipe it, you're going to hear this noise. When you swipe your card, this automatic release, which is called an electric strike, will make this noise. And once that's activated, this part here then releases and can release your lock. Very straightforward. So the lock is a standalone unit. The frame with the automatic release, which is called an electric strike, is hooked up to the access control unit. So you walk in, bang, 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 and then you hear this click, and it's almost instant. Same with your PIN number as well, and same with your swipe card. It's almost instant. Click. That's how quick it'll be. Click. Click. As where you're presenting a card with these type, that was kind of quick, then probably another second, then you hear a click. So there is a delay on this type of thing. Why I'm telling you this is because often high volume places, places with impatient people, places where people don't look after the hardware, the furniture, they don't care, you have to be aware of these type of factors. As far as turning on the keypad as well, if you don't tell somebody, they're never going to know how to turn it on. You actually have to put your hand over it to turn it on. Now it's on. So there is a little bit of a trick to it. Look, if you're putting this on your home, if you're putting it on offices and you've got that availability to show these people, yes, put your hand over it, wake the keypad up, and also when you present your card, place it there, 2 seconds, and then you'll be right. If you can tell them that, then you should be okay. But if you can't tell them that, you might have to go the more expensive option of actually having access control systems where they walk up to a big chunky keypad, bang, 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 buttons are always exposed like a telephone. You might have to do that. Also with the swipe cards, you have to think about how the people are using them. If you're installing this, let's say in a club or somewhere where they're wearing medallions around their neck and they swipe it from a distance, or they've got those ones around their arm and they just want to run their arm across it to activate it, this would not be the right type of system. You would probably want to go for something which had the range of this. Okay, the range and the speed of that. As soon as that activates, bang, it's like lightning on that. So these are some factors here that haven't been kind of said. Another factor which we really should mention is the batteries are located in here. To remove this, you need a little Allen key. Somebody has to keep that Allen key, and once again, depending on your usage cycle, somebody will need to replace those batteries. It has been given 40,000 uses, so in a residential application that'll be fine. On a commercial application, depending on your use, depends on how often you need to replace the batteries. On saying that, you are saving a lot of time and a lot of money not having to run cables, so it is an option, but you've really got to know the ins and outs of it before being able to compare one to the other. And that's what this video is about. I'm not saying that one's better than the other. They both do the same job, but it's the time they take to do the job makes the difference. So that's one difference. The also difference is on the installation. This type of kit here you can be in and out within an hour. This type of kit here you'll probably be 3-4 hours, half a day. So that makes a big difference on price. It makes a big difference on a lot of things. So it's not just the Lockwood Cortex we're talking about. We're also talking about the Carba EF680. That also has a very similar type of functionality where you've got to wake the keypad up, swipe it. You also do have remote controls with that one, as with this one you don't. So that's something which was a little bit different. It would be nice if they had remote controls too, but they don't. As far as everything else, it is basically what you see. So access control, we do have another video on Pac 1 and Pac 2, which are really good systems, pretty easy to install, pretty easy to program. The next thing is with the programming. Let's just have a quick talk about that. There's a couple of different modes with this. This one here has what they call easy mode and advanced mode. Easy mode, you basically push the button, put your code in, push the button again, you're done. Push the code, swipe your cards, push the button, you're done. Up to 40 cards you can store on this one. This one you can store a lot more cards. When you go to advanced mode on this one here, you actually can enroll and delete particulars. You give them an allocation number, such as spot number 1, 2, 3, and then you can go in and delete spot number 1, number 2, number 3 in advanced mode. So that's advanced mode. To access advanced mode, you have to remove the battery panel, remove a battery, flick a switch down here, replace the battery cover, then you're in advanced mode. Then you can start doing more advanced programming, such as deleting single users and deleting single cards. When you represent all the cards, the ones that are not represented will not get reprogrammed back into the system, and all the rest are deleted. So that's pretty much how you delete a card on this one. With this one here, it's quite similar. You actually need to put the system into programming mode, then you need to start to go through, position this, and then you can delete it if you've kept records. Same with this one here, you do kind of need to keep records. It might actually be in here. Oh, it was on the user manual, sorry. They give you an empty page with lines and you write down which position. So as far as those two things go, they're fairly similar. You need to access the button. With this system, you actually have to get to the control panel, push the button. With this system, you need to remove the batteries, push the button. Easy enroll on this one. This one now has a separate module where you can plug it in via USB to your computer. So you can do it a lot easier than going position 1, beep, 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 pin number, beep, 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 enter. Rather than do all that, you can just do it via USB. This lock right here does not have a USB plug, and you cannot do it on a laptop or anything like that. So that's a bit of a difference and downfall. If you're looking at a system that you're going to be installing all the time, and you wanted to go hardwired sort of thing and a standalone type system, then they're much of a muchness, but there are differences. The biggest difference here you can see is the wiring, but there are differences on the programming, and there are differences on the being able to edit users and things like that. To edit users on this one here, even in an advanced mode, it can be a little bit tricky. Even this one here, if you've got the software's probably going to make it a lot easier, but if you're doing it via the keypad, you're pretty much up for the same sort of battle. Get it in programming mode, position something, delete, and away you go. So these are two options here. I do like them both. I'm not going to rate one better than the other. They're both suited for particular circumstances, and I just wanted to put that out there, how this acts, because up until a few days ago I knew about the lock, but I've never seen it in action, and I think that makes the big difference. You know, to be able to gauge whether or not you want instant, or you can have something with a 3-second delay. So that makes a difference in certain circumstances. Price and things, you know, at least it gives you something to weigh up against the custom. You might be looking at, you know, let's say $2,000 for this system. You might be looking $1,500 for this type of system. Who knows, whatever. But they are both an expensive sort of access control system. There are cheap ones out there from China, but this is kind of Lockwood and Pac and Paddy are pretty much the benchmark of commercial type of locks. Like, between them, you couldn't say one was better quality. They're all used all the time by everybody in Australia, and they're quite reliable. So yeah, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. Just rub it. So that being the difference, once again, wake up, wake up. So I think that's like 2 seconds, or 1 second. But it does make a difference if you've got people working for you that just want to rush. Wake up, wake up, wake up. See what I mean? So I mean, if I was to rebuild this, I would keep a lot of things the same. I would increase the reader range, and I would make it fast. That's what I call swipe card. That's what a lot of people come to expect out of swipe card. Next thing is the wake up. I would have probably put a button in there, you know, to make that bang. Or, you know,